Our speaker today is so special that she has her own introducer, so I'm going to introduce the introducer. So bear with me as the print is very small. I'm going to introduce Sue Eltz, who is the CEO of the Girl Scouts of Historic Georgia, Inc. Sue earned her Bachelor of Science in Psychology from Iowa State University and comes to the Girl Scouts with a lifetime of experience empowering women and girls. Wanting to make a change but still wishing to help others through a nonprofit, she grew intrigued by the idea of the Girl Scouts and continuing to work, develop leadership skills in girls. I keep having an internet thing flashing in front of me, so at this point I'm just going to let Sue Eltz get up and introduce our speaker. Okay.
Thank you so much for allowing us to be here today. It's very exciting to tell you what's going on with Girl Scouts. I do want to just say to start that, number one, I'm a Rotarian and I have my little rotary pin with the high heel that I know you guys are all going to jump me and try to get before I leave today. But yes, little high heel with my rotary pin. Number two is good and bad news. Good news is that we had a rockin', wonderful cookie season this year and we sold out of cookies. Bad news is you have to fight over the cookies at your table. Arm wrestle, I don't care, you just have to figure out who gets what cookie. Now I will mention very quickly that there happens to be a table up here that no one is sitting at. So if you miss out, there's a few more cookie boxes right there. I'm going to start today by showing a very quick PSA that GSUSA did for Girl Scouts. I think it'll show you that while Girl Scouts is 110 years old and has many of the same elements that Juliet Gordon-Lowe started here in Savannah, it's changed a little bit. So take a look at this video.
I'm prepared to fall down. Get back up and go for it. I'm prepared to try something totally new. I'm prepared to make my ideas a reality. I'm a Girl Scout. I'm prepared for whatever lies ahead.
Okay, that's Girl Scouts today. So I want to talk to you a little bit today, and then I'm going to bring the Grace up, who everyone really wants to hear from today. But I'm going to tell you a little bit before I do that about Girl Scouts and the Gold Award. I know that most of you are probably very familiar with the other award that can be earned by a different group. Anybody know who I'm talking about? So we wanted to make sure that people in the community understand and really learn to respect the Gold Award in the same way that they respect the Eagle Award. It's an amazing award, and the experience that the girls get when they decide to do a project for the Gold Award is truly remarkable. I did want to mention before I get too much into the Gold Award that we do have many, many, many different kinds of leadership programs, and one of the ones that I've found is so prominent today and in today's world with what's happening in our world is an anti-bullying program that we do in our local schools. We're in almost all of the public schools in Savannah with this. It's a 6-week anti-bullying program that we do for girls. And it has just taken off. I mean, I know it doesn't take very long for us to see in the news what's happening around bullying and the emphasis that schools have been putting on to try to do whatever they can to make sure that people are supported in the schools, that people who are being bullied are supported. And we decided and really heard from our girls that it's not enough for a speaker to come and do a one-time seminar talking about bullying. They really wanted to get more in depth with the issue and more in depth in learning about, you know, what it is, maybe what's going on at the home of the person that's doing the bullying. You know, that's been real eye-opening for them. And then, of course, what resources could be developed for people who are being bullied in the schools. And our girls have done gold projects around that and developed amazing programs with it. And as I said, we're in almost all of the public schools in Savannah. It's a very, very popular program that we do. So back to the Gold Award. We do really everything for a Girl Scout to try to build her leadership from age 5 through 12. And we feel that, everything that we can do that helps a girl really feel what her possibilities are. We want them to see that the sky's the limit, that they can do anything. And we see sometimes that, girls will feel that great possibility that they can do anything up through about grade 3. And then somewhere in there that sort of takes a dive. And, whatever reasons are happening, oftentimes girls will start doubting themselves. So we really feel like it's important for us to be part of that support system for them, to get them through those years and see that they can indeed do anything. Why is this important? Well, as you can see, we feel that nationally we need women leaders, girl/women leaders, right? We feel still that the balance is not there with female leadership in our country, and that anything that we can do to help bring some additional balance will help. Females represent only 10 to 20% of leadership in American industry. While girls are perfectly capable, they often defer to their male counterparts. But girls bring some very specific benefits to leadership, so we need them to be prepared at every single level. Women remain largely absent. You can see the statistics there with everything from 30% in technology. I just saw an amazing interview on that the other day on 60 Minutes. 14% there with engineering. So this is, these are some of the quests that we see, that if we can help girls feel like they can make it in those areas, then those are areas that we know the business communities are really looking. If they're looking for skilled engineers, and they only have half of the population to hire from, that's a problem. So we want to make sure that girls see that those jobs are very available, and we want to make sure that the corporations and the businesses see girls as viable options for those jobs. So women's leadership drives important economic and societal benefits. Now check out the benefits of the female leadership. It's a high return on investment when you invest in girls, and it's a high return on your equity. You see a high reinvestment from girls into families and their communities, and greater corporate credibility. This data also depicts the powerful impact that well-prepared women have on our economy and our society. We know in Girl Scouting we put a huge emphasis on girls, and when they become adults, giving back to the community. So we know that when girls succeed, our society will also succeed. Now a little bit of not so great news. GIS USA does a research every 3 years into the state of girls in every state in our union. And you can see that Georgia is not faring so well with those research findings. And we'll talk a little bit later about actually Georgia is about 42nd in ranking in well-being of girls. And that looks at everything from health to education to safety issues, all kinds of societal issues that affect girls. But we have proven results. Here are some of the results of our recent study of our Girl Scout alums. So you can see about 50% of all business leaders were Girl Scouts. And you can see there were at 76% in civic action. And one of the stats that's not in here that was one of my favorite stats is 100% of all the female astronauts were Girl Scouts. I know, it's a good one. And in fact, the new CEO, we've had a new CEO at GSUSA for about 2 years now, and she was a former rocket scientist. And she wears this vest that has like the solar system on it, and then she has these awesome boots that she had handmade that are the solar system that she walks around in always with her little solar system outfit. I think it's awesome. So our path forward, you can see, yes, oftentimes we're here, we are asked, do Girl Scouts have an agenda? Absolutely, we have an agenda. These are our 2030 goals. You can see what our 2020 goals are. We, of course, want to get more members. We, of course, need volunteers and leaders to help mentor our girls. But some of the other goals, and this is really Sylvia Acevedo that's pushing this drive, who's the CEO. She wants to fill the STEM pipeline with 5 million women by 2030, and she's been working diligently on that task, working with many of the large Fortune 50 companies in the U.S. trying to get our girls so that they're ready to fill that pipeline. So you can see a little bit about why Girl Scouting works. I think, a couple of things come to my mind, and I'll see if Grace sort of follows this with what she has to say. But one of the things that I feel is so important about Girl Scouting is that girls at all levels can try things for the first time with other girls around. And it doesn't seem like maybe a big deal, but it really can be a big deal. When you're a young girl and you're like in middle school, and you're going to try the rock climbing wall for the first time at camp, it's really important that you have your support system, your cheering section. I was at camp just a couple of weeks ago, and there was this little young brownie that was doing the rock wall for the first time, and all the older girls went up first, and they were all ready to zip on the zip line across camp. And she, you could see, she took a big breath, and her mom was down on the ground, and she climbed the ladder for the rock wall, and then there's a little platform there, and they strapped her all up in her safety harness and her gear, and then she sat on the edge, ready to take that zip line ride, and she sat there, and then she'd scoot, and then she'd sit there, and all the girls down below were cheering her, saying, "Come on, you can do it, just get on the zip line and go." They were cheering her on, and this went on for maybe 25 minutes with the little scooch and the cheering. But nobody, I thought that was the coolest thing, because nobody ever said, "Okay, if you're not going to go, get down," right? Isn't that what you'd all expect eventually? Because there was a long line by this time of girls that wanted to do the zip line. Nobody ever said that. They just kept cheering her on, and by golly, eventually she jumped up and did that zip line, and her mom was beaming, and she came running to her mom afterwards and said, "Can I do it again?" Right? That's what we're all about. We see higher career achievement when girls are in Girl Scouts, and we see higher pay levels when girls are in Girl Scouts, when they get jobs. So here in Georgia, our girls do, oops, am I on the right one? Yeah. Our girls do face many challenges, as I said, from the outlook that GSUSA showed. We do have high rates of poverty. In fact, almost all of our area, Girl Scouts of Historic Georgia, in case you don't know, is a council that serves everywhere except for Atlanta. So many areas of our area are rural and very low income girls. And in my mind, those girls need us more than anybody needs us, and really enjoy being Girl Scouts. Because sometimes that's all they have, is being part of the Girl Scouts. But you can see we have high rates of child abuse in Georgia. We have high risk of human trafficking in Georgia. And we have high levels of obesity and other health issues. But our girls develop strong sense of self-respect, positive value system. Our girls seek challenges out and develop healthy relationships. Girl Scouts prepares every girl for a lifetime of leadership. That's what we're all about. So as I said, we start at age 5 and we continue. All of our programming is developed by girls with the help of our leaders, and really we focus on what the girls' interest is. So while they may get the basic stuff from 5 to when they're a little bit younger, we start listening to the girls when they decide, I really want to focus more on science, or I really want to focus more on technology. We really try to develop that programming so that it fits the girls' needs. Our volunteers are committed and very well trained, And we do accept male volunteers as well as female volunteers. And for you male volunteers, we have an awesome t-shirt that says, "I'm man enough to be a Girl Scout." I know you all want one of those. So I'll just take your sign up of signing up for volunteering. So the Girl Scout Gold Award is the most prestigious award, as I said before, for our girls. Girls begin to put their leadership skills in action. As our juniors, they earn the Bronze Award, and that's a troop activity that they all decide on. They have to go in front of a committee, they have to talk about what their particular project will be, and then the committee actually gives them feedback and decides how they should proceed for earning that award. They progress to an individual take action project when they pursue their Silver Award. And finally, they go for the gold. They create a network of support, plan a project that impacts an issue that's important to them, and this is probably the most important thing, create sustainable change. So these projects for their gold award isn't something that they're going to do one-time thing and then it goes away. They have to think of a project that will actually be lasting for their community. So they may sometimes do fundraising for it. They may have to go in front of the city hall. You know, girls have done everything from making sure that there are accessible play equipment at a park. So where they have to go through all of the systems to get to that play equipment. The Gold Award Girl Scouts impact their homes, schools, and communities with their leadership skills. Their work earns them significant scholarship opportunities and a higher rank when they enlist in the military. Learning to create a network of support tells their story and overcome challenges prepares them for leadership at every level. And who are the beneficiaries of the Gold Project? We are. These girls become amazing role models, they're strong job candidates, they're civic and corporate leaders, and they help design our future. So, here we go. One of our fabulous young leaders is here with me today. I am so happy and thrilled to introduce you to our Senior Gold Award Girl Scout, Grace Guidera. Is that right? Guidera? Good. She is a 15-year-old sophomore at Blessed Sacrament School in Troop 388. She's been a Girl Scout for 8 years. And she is going, I could tell you about her project, but I really think it would be better if Grace came up and told you about her project. So Grace?
Hello, my name is Grace Guidera and I go to St. Vincent's, and I've been involved in Girl Scouts for almost 10 years. As a Daisy Scout, Girl Scouts was just a way for me to do crafts with my friends after school, but as I got older, my troop got more involved in the community, and Girl Scouts has taught me more lifelong skills. For my Gold Award, I chose to help low-income children develop a love of science. I wrote a curriculum for the science camp that I did over the summer after researching the Georgia education standards for 1st through 8th grade students. My science camp curriculum that I wrote includes fun experiments that shows them hands-on representations of the topics, and it has simple explanations of the subjects so that anyone, not just a science teacher, can hold the camp. I ran the camp for a week with the Frank Callan Boys and Girls Club last summer, and it surprised me how interested the kids were. I expected the campers, especially the 5 to 8-year-olds, to stop paying attention after the activities, but they were just as involved when I started explaining the science concepts behind them. Because of their interests, I gave them a list of sources and websites that they can go to learn more. I also contacted Mercer Medical students to see if any of them would be able to talk to the groups about careers in science and what got them interested. 5 medical students came, and the students loved hearing their stories, and the medical students even told me that afterwards they plan to get more involved with the Boys and Girls Club in the future. I also made Science Camp in a Box sets to make my project more sustainable, which have the instructions for the curriculum and all the supplies needed for the experiments. I gave these to organizations such as the Young Men of Honor, and anybody can do the camp by themselves. This project has helped me improve my work ethic and communication and organization skills. The first challenge I encountered that helped me grow was actually calling the Frank Callan Boys and Girls Club to explain my camp and ask if I could make it a part of their summer program. It may sound simple, but I never realized how stressful it could be to call it a business and propose my idea to them. This project and Girl Scouts has given me so much more than I expected, especially women role models like my troop leader. I hope Girl Scouts continues to impact other girls' lives like it has mine. That's it.
Grace, do you mind just saying a couple words about what it's meant to be a Girl Scout and how that's helped you?
Well, it's given me so many more opportunities, like coming to speak to you guys, and I would have never have been able to have the leadership and confidence to come speak in front of a group because that's not my cup of tea. And but I hope that it helps other girls, like the young ones in other communities, like it has me.
Awesome. Well, I just want to close by saying thank you. As you can see, Grace is a true epitome of what Girl Scouting is all about. We have a little acronym that we say, and Grace fits it, that our girls are girls, go-getters, innovators, risk-takers, and leaders. And she certainly is one. And we're happy to answer any questions that you might have.